Hi, this is copywriter Casey Demchek. And you know what? It's a heck of a lot easier to write a really good book marketing copy when you can draw from a proven template or a proven formula that's really easy to work with. It makes writing book marketing copy much less complicated, gives you more confidence, kind of gives you a solid foundation from which you can work. And I highly recommend when you write book marketing copy, drawing from some of the proven templates and formulas that I give you in my videos. And this week, I'm going to teach you a really cool one called the 4Ps. It's a simple 4-step formula that'll make it very easy for you to get started with your book marketing copy. If you haven't written a lot of book marketing copy, this simple 4-step formula will help you get in the groove and start building some momentum. And it's a little formula that you can apply to back cover copy, e-blast copy, your Amazon description, even website sales page copy. It's not the only formula to follow to write book marketing copy. I got a bunch of them that I'll be sharing with you. But it's a really cool one because, as I said, it's very basic. It's easy to implement, and it's easy to get your arms around and just start working with, so you can start building up a lot of momentum as you write your book marketing copy. So to teach you about the 4Ps, we're going to share my screen here, and I'm going to jump over here to my example board, and we're going to get rolling. So again, we're calling this the 4Ps of great book marketing copy. This is a very straightforward little template formula you can use to write really cool book marketing copy. And the first P is for promise. You want to make your readers a promise. When you start writing your book marketing copy, you don't want to just start writing a description of your book. You want to talk about your readers first. And a great way to do that is to make a promise or imply a promise to them of what they're going to get out of reading your book. All right. So don't start just describing your book. Say to your readers, hey, this is what you're going to gain. I'm making a little promise to you. I'm going to tell you how you're going to benefit from reading my book. Start talking about that first. When you tell people what they're going to get out of your book, they're going to know what your book is about. So you can start off this first step by making a promise to your readers, letting them know how you're going to deliver on that promise, what your readers are going to gain from reading the book. This is just a really cool way to start your book marketing copy. The second P stands for picture. You can paint a picture with your words that details how the life of your readers is going to look and feel when they've realized the promise of your book. Example, if you're writing a book about how to get in really good shape, and in your promise, you're telling readers you're going to teach them, how to lose 15 pounds or get in really good shape. That's, you can say that, but then paint a picture for your readers of how their life's going to look when they've lost that 15 pounds or they've gotten in better shape. Because, life isn't about just seeing a number on a scale. That number might make us feel better. We're going to be able to wear the clothes we want, maybe wear the bathing suit we want to wear when we go to the beach. Paint a picture of how your reader's life is going to look when they've realized the promise that you gave them in step one. So get them excited. Now, if you've written a novel, that promise might, if you've written a scary novel, that promise might be as simple as, I'm going to scare the hell out of you with my book, or I'm going to make you laugh really hard with my book. So, paint a picture of how people are going to feel when they realize that promise. If you've written a book about how to improve your finances, ultimately money is just numbers, electronic numbers on a screen. So don't tell people they're simply going to make more money or save more money or invest slightly better. Tell them, about that vacation they'll be able to take that they haven't been able to take in 15 years. Kind of paint a picture of how their life's going to look and feel when they realize the promise that you set up in step number one. So that's the second P. Before I get to the third P, we're going to do a little quick break here. I love making these videos for you every week, but I've got some other cool stuff for you that you can get your hands on. You can go over to caseydemchek.com/secrets and get a copy of my free ebook, 7 Must-Know Copywriting Secrets That Sell More Books. It's an 18-page special report, maybe 19 pages, I forget. But it's loaded with a lot of really cool book marketing copy tips that you really want to have at your fingertips within arm's reach when you're writing your book marketing copy. It'll give you a really strong foundation for writing very enticing, very engaging book marketing copy. So I encourage you to go to my website. In fact, you can go right down below in the description of this video here on YouTube, And I've got a link there that you can click that will take you to a page where you can download this free special report. Again, it's got a lot of really cool book marketing copy tips in it, so I encourage you to get your hands on it. And just a reminder, all these tips that I give you about how to write book marketing copy are based on the fact that I've written marketing copy now for over 36 books that have become Amazon bestsellers. I've written for close to over 100 books, but worked with a whole bunch of authors. This is just a quick snapshot of some of the books I've worked on. I've worked on a bunch, but I thought I'd throw a few covers up there for you. I'll tell you what, if you're into business, this book by Mark Moses, Make Big Happen, is a really great book. It's one of my favorite business books. If you're into personal finance, my Warren Buffett Bible by Robert Block is really good. That's Robert Block is the son of H&R Block, and the Warren Buffett Bible is filled with a lot of great quotes and stuff by Warren Buffett. If you just read this book, you'll get a super great education about investing. So anyway, these are some of the books I've written, and that's what I base all these tips on, is the success we've had with these other books. Now let's get to the third P, which is proof. So when you make a promise to your readers, hey, this is how you're going to benefit from reading my book, and then you paint a picture and say, this is how your life could look and feel when you realize the promise of reading my book. People are, people can be a little skeptical. So they're going to say, okay, you're telling me you can do this and you're saying what my life's going to look like, but why should I believe you? This is where proof comes into place. The next step, we want to supply some proof. And of course, with books, that can be endorsements, it can be reviews, but it could also be, maybe your credentials, maybe, depending on the topic of your book, some scientific facts. You may have some graphics you can put in there, or you just may have a really cool story about your life that makes you, or a segment of your life that makes you an authority on what you're writing about. And if that's the case, you can have reviews and endorsements, but don't leave out a story about yourself. People love good stories. So if you've got a cool story about yourself that gives you a lot of credibility, you can use that as proof as well. And when you do that, people are going to, you're going to come across as more real and more believable, and people will enjoy your book that much more, or be more motivated to buy your book, more important, or as important. Okay, the final P in this simple, straightforward, basic formula for writing book marketing copy, the fourth P is called the push. This is when you push people, ask them to buy your book. Work with a lot of authors who are always kind of afraid of this step. They'll get into writing some good book marketing copy, but when you wind down your book marketing copy, you have to encourage people to buy your book now, today, not later, but right now. You want to create a sense of urgency about your book. That takes a little work, but you have to leave out this step. A great way to create urgency and get people to buy your book right now is when you do promotions, have bonuses that are available with your book that are only available for a limited time. For example, if you're doing a book launch, have some cool bonuses that people can get when they buy your book, but have those bonuses be available for 72 hours or 24 hours or 48 hours. But tell people, hey, I've got a good book for you, great book for you, but I've got some really cool bonuses, but to get those bonuses, you have to buy the book now. Let's say you've written a book about romance or finding that special soulmate. In addition to your book launch, you can have a special promotion maybe around Valentine's Day when you're offering your book, but also some cool bonuses connected that are related to your book. And again, make those bonuses available for just a very limited time. So if you're shy about asking people to buy your book, if you're shy about making that push, attach some bonuses to your book, and that makes it much easier to do. But never leave out this step. If you tell people, make a promise to them and tell people how their lives are going to benefit from reading your book, you got to have that point where you have to ask people to buy your book now instead of later. Because if they're on your website page looking at your book, they may never come back. So give them a reason to buy your book right now. And when you write that call to action, be confident and certain with your tone. Never write something like, hey, if you're interested, say, to order my book right now and get these really cool free bonuses, click that Amazon button below and let's make it happen. So be confident when you write your call to action lines. Again, a quick review of the 4 Ps. This is a simple little formula you can use to write really killer book marketing copy. We've got the promise, paint that picture of how someone's life can look when they've realized the promise of reading your book, offer up some proof, your story, endorsements, reviews, and then the push, which is when you have a good, strong, confident call to action and encourage people to buy your book right now instead of later or never. Okay, and lastly, I give this tip a lot. Good writing is rewriting. Great writing is rewriting some more. When you utilize this, if you haven't written a lot of book marketing copy and you're going to utilize this formula, allow your first draft to be a little rough around the edges, even a little crappy. I do that all the time. But my trick is, a lot of people say, hey, Casey, do your magic, write that smooth copy. And it's not magic. I do a lot of rewriting, and I'm not afraid to do a lot of rewriting. I don't expect my first drafts to be super great, but I'm very confident as I revise the copy, it's going to turn out real well. So that's kind of the key. When you take this formula I've given you, write your first draft, but then always remember that good writing is rewriting, great writing is rewriting some more. You probably did that when you wrote your book, so do the same thing when you write your book marketing copy. Okay, we can get out of this. I hope this formula, the 4 Ps, is going to help you out quite a bit. Again, I've got other formulas I can teach you down the road, but this is a great starter formula. It's only 4 steps, pretty straightforward, very easy to implement. And if you do implement it and start working with it, I think you're going to have a lot of fun writing your book marketing copy. So I hope you have found this video helpful. I got more videos coming up over here that I encourage you to watch. They're loaded with a lot more tips and information that are going to help you. And then, as I always say, take a lot of action and make things happen.